Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Altman, and welcome to Love Bites. Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Altman here on Love Bites. What I thought we'd talk about has to do with power and has to do with affairs with respect to power. You read it in the news, you read it almost every day or every week or every month, but most recently we've seen it with two major generals in the United States government, people who lead our country, getting involved with a couple of women, having an author come who's going to write a book on this major general in the armed forces, and then winding up having an affair together. And then there are the concerns about what secrets did he tell her. There are the concerns about pillow talk. But what we're looking at here on Love Bites is, why does this happen so frequently? Why do we see the entertainers get involved in this? Why do we see the government, the president, for God's sakes? Why do folks like this get involved in these type of affairs? Well, the first and easiest answer is because A, they can, and B, power. We're talking for the most part about alpha males. Now, you don't hear much about alpha males anymore. Alpha males are getting a bad showing here because, you know, where the sexes are equal, women are as equal as men are. Yes, women and men, especially in the business world, in the media world, wherever, men and women are now equal for the most part, but that doesn't make them the same. Men and women are still different when it comes to hardwiring, when it comes to their sexual impulses as far as what drives sexuality in men and women. And that's where the alpha male comes in. These are powerful men. Some will blame alpha males to getting us into wars and things like that. But just looking at the alpha male, there is a magnetism. Women can pick out these alpha males. And in positions of power, that's where alpha males tend to congregate. And so there's this setup. You have an alpha male in a powerful position. You have access. He gains access to so many different women based on what he does on an everyday practice, what he does in his world, what he does when he's interviewed, or a woman who comes to him gets to know him more intimately because she's writing a book about him. That almost naturally leads to some sort of sexual activity or an affair, if you would. And we read it all about it. We read about it all the time. The best example was Bill Clinton, God bless him, stuff that's going on in the Oval Office. Here's a man in power and someone who is well below in the structure of hierarchy feels that power and reacts in that way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, it's almost a natural occurrence based on what that power does. Why do the men get off on it? And by the way, this can go if the woman is the person in power. That doesn't take away this whole concept. It can be very much the same. But why do the men take part on it? It's another high for them. They are at such a level of power. Their brain is used to such a high stimulant level that they look for things like that to keep that brain, keep the dopamine, that pleasure hormone, keep it going. And it takes more and more activity of a high level to keep that stimulation going. So there you have it. We see it, it's frequent, it's all over the place, especially in positions of power, whether that position of power is a male or a female, and naturally we get into that. What's the cure for this? Well, you're not going to stop those occurrences. The real cure has to be society appreciating that what goes on behind closed doors to an extent is the business of those people. In the meantime, if they're very good at what they do in public service, we've got to let that other stuff go. We need good people who are in public service. So let's rethink how we react to those affairs.